92 years. One nation waited 92 years for a single moment. They were the first African nation ever to step onto a World Cup stage before anyone else on the entire continent. And for 92 years, they never won. Not one game, not a single match. A curse that outlived generations. Grandfathers passed it to their sons, and their sons passed it on again, until today. This is the story of Egypt, and the longest wait football has ever known. It began in 1934, Italy, the second World Cup ever played. And there, among the nations of Europe, stood Egypt, the first African team in history to reach the World Cup. The first Arab nation too. Decades before any of their neighbors would follow, they faced Hungary. And they did not go quietly. A man named Abdulrahman Fawzi scored, then scored again. The first African ever to find the net at a World Cup. For a moment, Egypt led the way for an entire continent, but the game slipped away. 4 goals to 2. And just like that, the pioneers went home. They didn't know it yet, but it would be 56 years before they returned. To understand the pain, you have to understand the love. In Egypt, football isn't a game, it's a heartbeat. From the streets of Cairo to the banks of the Nile, a nation lives and breathes it. And on their own continent, they were kings. 7 times champions of Africa. 7. More than any nation has ever won. The Pharaohs, the most successful team in the history of African football. They conquered everything within reach. They ruled a continent. But there was one stage that kept its doors shut. One prize that stayed out of reach. The biggest one of all. The World Cup didn't want them, and it would make them suffer for it. After 1934, the silence began. Not for a year, not for a decade. For 56 years, Egypt vanished from the World Cup. 56 years, an entire lifetime. Children were born, grew old, and died, never seeing their nation on that stage again. The most successful country in Africa. Locked outside the door, they watched, every 4 years, as the world celebrated without them. The pioneers, forgotten. The team that opened the door for a continent, left standing in the cold. Other African nations would go. Cameroon, Nigeria, Senegal, and the country that came first, still waiting, still aching. Hope is a heavy thing to carry for that long. And Egypt carried it for 56 years. And then, at last, the door cracked open again. 1990, Italy again. After 56 years in the wilderness, Egypt was back. And this time, they would not be embarrassed. They held the Netherlands, one of the finest teams on earth, to a draw, 1-1. They locked down Ireland, 0-0. They fought England to a single goal. So close, so agonizingly close. 3 matches, 2 draws. Not beaten easily by anyone, but not a single win. They had looked the giants in the eye and refused to blink. And still, somehow, it ended in nothing. They went home again. Unbeaten in spirit, yet still without that one elusive victory. The pattern was becoming a prophecy. Egypt could compete. Egypt could resist, but Egypt could not win. And the wait was about to get even longer. Then came 2018, and with it, a savior. His name was Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king, one of the greatest players on the planet. He dragged Egypt back to the World Cup after 28 years away, and a nation of 100 million dared to dream again. This was the team. This was the moment. The curse would finally break. It didn't. Egypt lost to Uruguay in the dying minutes, then Russia, then Saudi Arabia. 3 games, 3 defeats, 0 points. Salah scored Egypt's first World Cup goal in 28 years. But even magic wasn't enough. In goal stood Essam El Hadari, 45 years old, the oldest man ever to play at a World Cup, a living symbol of how long they had waited. They came with everything. And still, they left with nothing. But legends don't end on their knees. Salah wasn't finished, and neither was Egypt. The road to 2026 began, and this time, something felt different. Match after match in qualifying, they didn't stumble, they didn't fold, they marched through Africa unbeaten, top of their group. In October 2025, it was sealed. The Pharaohs were going back to the World Cup. Salah, older now, wiser, still magnificent, leading them one more time. A nation that had been burned so many times before felt it again. That dangerous, beautiful thing. Hope. But hope had betrayed them for 92 years. Why would this time be any different? It started with a familiar ache, a draw against Belgium, 1-1. Brave, but still no win. The ghost was still there, 92 years of it. And then came June 22nd, 2026. Egypt against New Zealand. You could feel it. A whole nation holding its breath. One more chance to bury the curse. And this time, Egypt scored. And it wasn't enough just to lead. They kept going. A second, a third, 3 goals to 1. When the final whistle blew, 92 years shattered in an instant. Egypt had won. Their first victory in the entire history of the World Cup. From 1934 to 2026. From Fawzi to Salah. From the pioneers who opened the door to the sons who finally walked through it. Cairo erupted, a continent rose. The longest wait in football was finally over. 92 years, 3 generations, countless heartbreaks, and one nation that refused to stop believing. Some dreams take a lifetime, some take even longer. But Egypt proved what the world needed to hear. It is never too late. This is Behind the Empire, where we tell the stories behind the moments that move us. Subscribe and share this with someone still waiting for their moment, because it comes.